Rams because we really don't know what to expect from him.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. One, saw the field really cleanly, which isn't surprising because of the offense that he ran at Alabama. I thought the under-center crossing game was really good. Late in this game, he started to make throw after throw versus tight coverage. That was really impressive to lead this team down for some scores. And then the decision-making was fantastic. So a lot of their base offense, the movement game, the play-action game, was right away a strength.
I'm fascinated by this piece of this because we're trying to find what is the Rams' vulnerability. What is their Achilles heel? And we talked about it in the meeting this morning, and you said, look, if Lamar goes down, if Josh goes down, whatever it is, all those teams are done. And I get it. So if they lose Matt Stafford for the season, that's one thing. The real purpose of a backup quarterback is if your quarterback has an ankle sprain and he has to miss 3 games. Are they ready to go for those 3 games with Stetson Bennett and Ty Simpson and remain the 1 seed or whatever it is that they're fighting for? That really is what this job is about.
I mean, we saw that he could operate this offense against like standard defenses, which is I don't mean to dismiss that, but like the preseason game isn't the regular season. Being able to see and make decisions and make plays in regular season is going to be much more difficult. But the question, I think, is going to be how much will they need him? Like, if this team is as talented as we think it is, the defense comes together, which we haven't seen them with all these pieces yet.
Right.
If it comes together as well as we think it is, and we know that McVay is going to be able to create an offense that takes a little pressure off the quarterback, then potentially you could be able to survive. But we all know the truth of it. Like, their season is riding on the back and the arm of Matt Stafford, his ability to stay healthy, and they're going to keep him upright. But the problem is when you get to that age, which I can attest, sometimes you just wake up and it hurts. And you don't know why it hurts, and you can't perform the way that you want to. So that could be an issue holding this team back.
Matthew Stafford was the least hit quarterback in football last year.
Yeah.
That would absolutely be the goal of the Los Angeles Rams. Again, for a team that's going to try to play 20, 21 games potentially, don't get them touched. It's one of the philosophies of how they call their offense. So, listen, if they have to go to Ty Simpson to play a game or two, we'll see how that goes. But there's no question that the goal is to make sure Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, if you play 17 games, you're going to be in the playoffs, then you go on your run.
Their plan is to keep all 3 of these quarterbacks, regardless. But they are wanting to use this training camp to find out, is Ty Simpson a guy we can put in the game if Matthew Stafford gets hurt? They felt like when they started putting the pads on in training camp that his play and practice elevated a little bit. And I don't think they're surprised that it happened in a game, too, because they felt like this is a guy that's played in big games and maybe he needs a little bit more of a competitive environment to get his juices going. So they're happy with what they've seen from him. Whether he's the backup or Stetson Bennett's the backup, that's one of those lingering questions.
Here's why this feels important to me. Because, look, Sean McVay is as smart as anybody that there is in football. He has personally identified Ty Simpson as the guy that he believes will be ready to go whenever Matthew Stafford is done, whether that's 1 year, 2 years, whatever it is. And if he thinks that, who am I to tell him he's wrong? So that's Ty Simpson's job, is to be ready to be the quarterback whenever Matthew Stafford no longer is. For this year, on this team, which is it's absolutely Super Bowl or bust, is he ready to be the backup, which is a guy who has to go in and play sometimes? That, to me, is a different question.
I think he is, just because, again, the style of offense that he ran at Alabama will have a lot of similarities to what Sean has running in L.A. I haven't seen a single snap of practice rep, but just watch how the game was called and then how the game was executed at the quarterback position. You'd have to walk away, at least in a preseason game 1, saying, feel very confident with the way this young man executed our stuff.
He and Stetson Bennett, to an even greater degree, the guy that played in a lot of very important games in college, and that is not nothing to the Los Angeles Rams. That they think that's important, that if somebody has to go in there and play, it's somebody who's been on the big stage before.
Getting him out of the pocket would be important, which they showed they wanted to do. Get him out of the pocket, simplify the game, slow it down, and allow his speed and youth and athleticism to work in his advantage, rather than trying to run a Matthew Stafford-style offense where you're going to sit in the pocket and make decisions.
They're 5.5 to 1 to win the Super Bowl in August. It's not a number that you see very.
Going early and often in their preseason game, Josh Allen immediately came out and said, "Where's DJ Moore?" A couple of the under-center play-action passes were a huge storyline. Carolina obviously didn't cover him on those plays. But just the awareness, the connection, the understanding of where each other is going to be. I think the big question mark is, can this duo be really good outside of structure? They're going to be outstanding within structure. That's where he got hurt. But outside of structure, what can that impact be?
What was that? Was he looking for somebody? What is he doing there?
He did his own Morpheus from Matrix thing. But what he doesn't, I guess I thought he's a terp, so he's a smart guy. I would think that he understands they got you for the playoffs, brother. What you out here taunting DBs for in the preseason, I don't know. He's just letting the fans know what type of player they're getting. He's one of those guys who you say he's a football player, not a receiver, where you get him the ball anywhere, he's going to make an impact.
Dan Graziano, if I know one thing, it's that you're going to see him in January, because we always send you to Buffalo in January.
I'm just happy there's a new stadium. that was my takeaway from the game.
They played those guys a lot, I think, because of the new stadium. Their first game.
Yeah, they want to get used to the routine. Yeah.
What is the sense you're getting about the impact of DJ? They brought him there to be a number one guy.
Yeah, they love him, and he's reliable, and he's everything. I mean, playing out of structure, he played with Caleb Williams the last couple of years, so we know he can do that. Yeah, no, there's as long as they keep him healthy, and he got a little banged up in this game, but it doesn't sound like it's serious. As long as they keep him healthy, he's been what
Here's
they
the thing.
they hoped.
Look, if you've got Josh, maybe you don't need a true, number one Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson type guy. But is he a number one receiver? Because the Panthers were willing to let him go, and the Bears were willing to let him go. And so that, I think, brings some people to ask, well, just how good do we think DJ Moore is? Is he the piece that finally takes the Bills over the top?
No, he's still a very good receiver that is going to play a one role, but that's not how their offense is built. Their offense is built with multitudes of people. They're 4 or 5 deep at wide receiver, 2 or 3 deep at tight end, and have one of the best running backs in football in James Cook. So DJ Moore is not going to step in there and go, here's 95 catches for 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. That's not his role. The missing piece is Jim Leonard in the defense. We all know that. Don't give up 30 in the playoffs. Have a much different storyline. So the impact of DJ is going to be huge, no question. But it's not like this offense has scored 10 points a game in the playoffs and they can't get by a team that scores 2 touchdowns.
He just fits. I mean, he knows what Joe Brady wants to run. He was in Carolina at the same time that Brady was. It's just a perfect fit.
They need somebody on the outside to win more consistently. A one-on-one guy, hey, go win.
You're undervaluing how important that player could be, though. Like, if they do have that player consistently, it changes the way that defenses approach them, and it changes the amount of pressure. I think that's, as much as we want to say that Buffalo has failed Josh Allen, in this playoff game, Josh Allen had a rough time and a lot of turnovers. And I think that, in part, that's about having other options that's not like, you saved my life. Throwing to DJ Moore, the reason why he's like a yak guy really helps is, like, sometimes you can just get it to DJ Moore 3 yards away from the line of scrimmage and he's going to get you 8.
Yeah, last year was the first time they lost a playoff game because of Allen, at least in part because of Allen. I think you're reasonably safe saying that won't happen. That you're not counting on them losing again because of him. That felt like an outlier. He had a bad day. He acknowledged it after that day. Generally speaking, their problems in the playoffs have not been him. So you're looking for something that puts them over the top. You're saying it's going to have to come on the defensive side of the ball.
Jim Leonard, who's their new defensive coordinator, who many people just rave about. Obviously, great career, super smart, learned under Rex Ryan, was under Vance Joseph in Denver. So the impact that he has, not only in the regular season, but